think we're on, so let's see here. Okay. That's the best I can do unless. So I guess that's all right. Now I'm in the full picture. Thanks for your patience. Okay. So we are starting our morning exercise at 11. Everything will be a little different today. As we roll with the punches here a bit, different dynamic. So I like for you to put a smile on your face. Keep smiling with your eyes.
Place.
Say it again.
Yeah, very good. Very good place.
You are in a good place. If you can see me, Donnie, yeah. So if you feel comfortable, then that's good. So, and we'll just start out with our warm up and having some enjoyable time this morning on this beautiful rainy day. All right. So let's focus on posture for a moment. Sit upright and tall. Keep your back straight and grow as tall as you can. So having your spine long, your shoulders back, relaxed and down. The head in between your shoulders, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. So, and arms can be by your side or on your knees. Feel your abdominal muscles engaged a bit as you sit upright and tall. And let's just turn your head towards your left side and your right side slowly. And just as if you look to see if a car is coming from right or left before you cross the street, and kind of warming up our neck here. And you can slow it down, so if the tendency is to get dizzy here when you look from side to side, slow it down a bit, kind of warming up your neck. That's good. And then next time, let's pause here as we look straight forward. And then bringing your chin front, so tucking your chin out, and then retract it back in. So it's like turtling. Your chin forward and tuck it in, and front, and in, and front. So the focus is really on keeping your chin lightly tucked in and down for good head position, and also not to create any tension in your neck. Just developing the habit of keeping your chin lightly tucked in and down. Let's do 2 more times, and 1 more. So, and then think about the gesture of saying yes. So you bring your chin down slightly and then looking straight ahead, and then slightly up with your eyes, and again, forward and down and then slightly up. It's kind of an agreeable gesture. Slowing it down accordingly to your comfort range as you inhale and exhale. And this is our nutrition for our muscles and joints, our internal structure, our breathing, the oxygen. So then look straight ahead, and now try this with me. Let's tilt your right ear to your right, and always starting on the gentler side as you go through the neck warm-ups, the neck stretches, dynamic stretches, kind of feeling the flexibility, the neck, how it feels this morning at this moment, kind of from side to side, nice and easy, kind of getting some of the kinks out. And then looking straight ahead, and then one more time, let's bring your chin forward, and then tuck it lightly back in. Now look forward and down towards direction chest, and look straight ahead, and look up to the sky, and straight ahead, look to your right side, and back to the middle, and then rotate to your left side, and back to the middle, and then tilting your right ear to your right, and coming back to center, and then left to left, and back to center. Good. So, and then let your arms relax by your side. If you like, again, you can have your hands here or here, what works best for you. So with chairs, with arm rests, make it work for you. You can have the arms on the outside as well. And let's retract a bit our shoulders back. So your shoulder blades come together, and then release, and squeezing your shoulder blades together, and release, and squeeze, and release. A couple more times. So noticing your shoulder blades coming a bit closer in, holding something in between your shoulder blades. Good. And one more time. And then we'll continue with circles, forward, up, and back, and around. Forward, up, and back, and around. Hello, Deanne.
Bye.
Forward, up, and back, and around. Did you take the stairs?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you probably know, it's going to be very different today.
All day?
Well, I don't know how long it's going to be taking for that to be repaired, but I'm glad you were able to take the stairs. So, all right, now your right shoulder comes up towards your right ear, and then your left towards your left, and just kind of alternating from right to left, left to right, lifting and lowering. Good. And then let's do together both shoulders. So shrug your shoulders up, hold, breathing in and out, and then release, easy back down. And lift and hold, release, lift and hold, and release. Couple more times. Lift and hold. Good. And let's go into the goal pose position from here. So arms are out to the side. And this one is bringing our hands forward together, and then your elbows maybe closer together. And then going out to the sides. Here we go. Kind of like wings of a bird. So forward and in, and then out. And just kind of gliding in and out of these two different movements. In and out. Let's focus on your right arm for a moment. So when you open your right arm, look to your right, moving on, come back to center, look straight ahead, and let's take it over to your left. And straight ahead. So it's going to be right, and center, and left, and center, and right, and center. And allow your eyes to follow your moving hands. And left, and right, and center, and left. Good. So now both arms push straight forward, and we'll point and flex our hands and wrists just a bit for our wrist here. Pointing and flexing. Also acknowledging how much your hands have done throughout your life, helping others and helping yourself throughout life. It's all the things you need to do. And then going out and in, rotating out and in, out and in, out and in, and then circling your hands and wrists. So into one direction first, and then reverse a direction. So go the other way around. So let's take the hands down towards your knees for a moment and bring the awareness back to posture. Take a couple of deep, full breaths in and out, breathing into your nose. And if you like, breathe out through your mouth as if you breathe out candles. And one more, like so, breathing into your nose. And then exhaling through pursed lips or rolling out some candles. So the next one here is stretching one arm up high and the other arm low. So you're stretching your spine long, and then we shift. And if you like, start with shifting your weight from side to side. So that you move a bit from your hip joint, maybe lifting your sits bones up a bit here from side to side. So reaching. Your palms can press and push to sky and floor. And again, really visualize and feel your spine lengthening as your arms are moving in different directions. So now we keep the movement flowing, but we'll take the right arm across and over and push out to the right, to the left, and then switch. So this is more across and over your chest, and then pressing out to the side, flexed hands, side to side, across and over. And so the next one here has us pushed down towards direction floor. It's a bit of a side lean or a side tilt if you want to engage a bit more balance practice in that seated position. So seated balance. You can close your eyes for a moment to let your sensory system work a bit more than relating on your vision. Noticing where your body is in space, which direction you're tilting to as you have your eyes closed. And then sitting upright and tall again, looking straight ahead, and this time letting your arms swing from your left hip to your right or vice versa. Depends on how you see me here in the room or from the screen. So side to side. And coming back to center. And then what we'll do is we'll start with a light march. So at this point, focus is to push up from the ball of the foot. So think a little bit like you have a springboard underneath the sole of your feet. And it's kind of like a bouncy springboard. A couple of times. Maybe pointing your toes downwards as you push up from the ball of the foot. And then making an actual step out and in, out and in, side and in, side and in. A couple more times, kind of warming up our legs. One more to each side. And let's try the next one together, which is kind of a bathtub step. So let's start this. Hands come and cross in front of our chest here. I have a base that is a narrow base of support for the upper body. And then our right leg lifts up and over an imaginary object. And then your left leg steps into it. So up and over. Think about a log of some kind. Maybe a log that you step up and over. You can always adjust the height. You can either step higher or you can take it lower. So see what works for you here. Stepping up and over. The side step, the gesture or functional movement if you are stepping into the car, in and out of the car. One more time. And then coming back to the middle. And from here, rocking your feet forward and back from toe to heel, heel to toe. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we'll go back to stepping up and over that log. Let's do 8 of those. So stepping once to the right and once to the left. And creating that higher lift. If you think of a step or a car that as you lift the leg or need to lift the leg up a little higher. A couple more times. Let's do one more to each side. So then stepping back in the middle. And this time, let's bring your right foot back a little bit towards the chair behind you. And the opposite arm points or flexes forward. So good coordination here. And then we switch. And switch. So at the beginning, when you keep it slower, at slower pace, that allows you to become familiar with the movement in itself. You can say it in your quiet mind. So some concentration, that's the level of concentration to work with coordinating exercises. And then if you like, you can go a little faster. And still see if you keep it opposite arm to left. And then you can slow it down again. And speeding it up again. So, think of it as playtime. The goal is the doing, the practicing, instead of being perfect. That's really what it is about, to practice and the doing. So then shake your legs out. All right. So from here, let's keep your feet nice and wide, about maybe a little more than shoulder width apart. And your toes turn out a bit to the side. You got it. So now when your toes turn out externally, your knees try to follow that same direction. Yeah. So starting in this position, we're going to take our right arm up, and it's going to be a full circle with your right arm coming forward, down, over to the other side, and then in onto your right side. And it's your left arm up and a full circle around and in. So up and around and in and up and in, and then taking both arms up, and maybe you want to clasp your hands together and going around in one direction, one circle up, and then the other direction. So full trunk rotations as your fingertips might stretch up to the sky, and bringing length into your trunk, into your spine, from side to side or fully around. And the last one here. And letting your arms come down. So I'm going to hand out some balls for my group here. Let's see, something that is squeezable. CBN. Michael, would you like to work a little bit with the ball? See what you can do comfortably. And then Edna, would you like to work a little bit with the ball? I can take the book aside. Oh, I read this. This is a beautiful book. So, all right. So we have our ball, and again, you can do the movements without the ball at Northholm, or if you use your imagination for the next set. So let's bring the ball in. First of all, bring it close to your chest, and then taking it from the chest level to your right knee, left, right, left. One more time, right, left. And then see if you can bring the ball halfway or full around. And the other way. And then we'll come back to our heart. So it's kind of a sequence we are starting. So we'll go chest, and then right knee, and down. Good. Left, down. Repeat on the right, on the left, and right, left. And then again, if you like, you can also modify. You can choose one leg versus both legs. Bring the ball around one or the other, or both. I'm just giving a couple of options. Mobilizing your spine, and then coming back with your ball to your heart, keeping your feet wide. Good. And pushing the ball out. This time we go over to the right side, come back to center and into the heart. Push the ball out with a bit of force, and then over to your left side, come in, and the ball comes in towards you. Here we go. So front, side, in, chest, and front, side, and in, and again chest. Push out front and side, in, chest, front, and side, and in, chest, and then our feet come together, ball rests on our sides, and let's do this one together where we roll the ball down along the front of our legs, and then roll the ball back up. It kind of feels good to work a bit this morning on mobility and flexibility from head to toe. Kind of bring the ball lower down and back up. Now, if you like, try to include your fingers a bit. So your fingers are rolling the ball down and rolling the ball back up. So including your finger dexterity. Rolling the ball back down and back up. Good. And then we'll take a wider stride with our feet, shoulder width apart, and then ball starts in a diagonal chop. So the side you're on, this is a high side, and then it's a lower level down. So diagonal chops, think of that diagonal angle, utilizing your trunk muscle. So up on the high shelf, low down, and up and down. And let's try this a couple more times together as you inhale and exhale. So maybe over the course of time, becoming a bit more, think of longer reaches and lower down, up and down. And then let's do the other side. So a high on the other side and then low down. And then again up and low down. And up and low down. Let's do two more. Up and up and down. So, and then we'll have our ball in one hand. Fingers are working, strengthening your wrist, your hands, fingers, forearms, shoulders. And we'll turn the ball up, bring it across and over towards your left shoulder, mobility, and back down, straight front, and turn. So it's turn, across and over, shoulder, straight front, rotate, up, across and over, forward, and turn, in, and then switch the side, so utilizing your other arm. Here we go. Turn, down, bring it across and over, and across and over. So working on some range of motion here with strengthening of fingers, forearm, shoulders, wrist. Gesundheit, Edna. And the last one. So, and then we'll take the ball in between our knees this time. So holding it with the intention of working our inner thighs. And we'll begin to straighten our right leg straight forwards. Point your toe up. Good. And then we'll kick it front softly and gently 10 times. So it's kind of 1, 2, 3, and 4. So strengthening the muscles on the front of your side. 5 and 6. Let's do 4 more as you breathe in and out. And together the last 3, 2, and 1. And then changing to your other side. Now, if someone has arthritis in their knee joint, you can keep it up and down by keeping your knee straight, like so. If you don't have arthritis and it doesn't hurt your joint, keep the movement going like so. So making it work for you and strengthening the same muscle group. One is with the joint range of motion, with using the mobility of your joint, and the other is without it, as you do straight leg lifts. So again, noticing what works for you here. Another one that is also good to do to strengthen the inner thighs here is the squeeze with your knees against the ball, and then release. The squeeze against the ball, hold for a moment. The physical movement is just holding, but you breathe in and out and release. So squeeze and release and squeeze and release and squeeze. And a few more times. This can also be done with a pillow. If you have a pillow in your room or in your, wherever you are, kind of doubling the pillow. You have a fluffy one, you can squeeze against it. Good. Let's do one last one. Good. And then bringing the ball down below your ankles, in between your ankles. So I'm readjusting myself, just double checking how I sit, that I keep my back straight, shoulders back, relaxed and down. I bring in my abdominal muscles here intentionally by just thinking about drawing the belly button in a little bit more to support my low back as I lift my legs up. And then coming back down and lifting up. Now again, the same guidelines are here to implement. If you have arthritis in your knee joints, you can keep the legs straight and you can lift and lower, since that is a 2-leg lift. You can also do the leverage a little bit shorter. Instead of coming from a 90-degree angle, you can bring the legs forward and then changing the leverage of the lift. That can also still make it work for you, the exercise, but your knee joint is not moving as long. So, noticing as you practice these what works for you, and also what your doctor told you not to do, or your physical therapist. Let's do one more. Good. Now let's try this one. I call this a roll up, where you kind of lift one foot up off the floor and still trying to keep the ball in between your inner lower legs, kind of like a march, rolling it up, up. It's kind of a fun tool to have a prop or an object to work with, makes it a bit more playful. Maybe rolling up a little higher and a little higher, or just keeping it where, again, where your body lets you roll it up. If you do have the control over it, comfortable range of motion. And challenge is always good, but respecting our limits is equally important. So now,
back and forth, kind of like a clock or something. You just how it grows.
yeah,
But the same exact spot, you go there, you up there.
yeah, very true. Now it's kind of like a clock.
Quick clock.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah, that's right. The movement can look a little bit like this, kind of balancing, but keeping the balance. So the next one is rolling the ball forward and back. And to keep on strengthening your leg muscles, this is quadricep hamstring. Also, when you go out to the side, it would be the muscles around your right hip, inner thighs, bring it forward. So really, you play with it a bit in all the directions that you can go. You can play around with the numbers on a clock. Maybe go to 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then change your leg. So you go kind of rolling the ball forward and back. And if you want to try this with me, when you have your foot on the ball, I can rest my whole leg weight on the ball, but I also can not put all the leg weight on the ball to make it more challenging. So play around a bit with how much of the leg is resting on your ball versus non-resting. And let's go together on that clock image. So we start on the 12, and then let's go counterclockwise. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then back to the 12. Yep. And then stepping off the ball. So having your feet back on the ground, steady surface, and we'll pick the ball up from the ground. So
It's gonna be tough.
that's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
You can do it. Go get it. So now let's try this one together. Take your right or left arm out to the side like you see me doing this here. And I'm trying to take that ball underneath my armpit or my arm. And so the focus is on squeezing. The physical movement is squeezing the ball in towards your rib cage. And then release, and you can probably feel how your shoulder and arm, everything relaxes here. So squeeze the ball in against you, and then back out, and squeeze in and out. So this is a movement where you utilize the muscles around the inner arm and also your shoulder. So squeezing and releasing, squeezing and releasing, and then changing over to your other side. So we are controlling the ball again with our arm where you hold the ball, kind of squeezing it in. As you do that, you most likely feel the muscles working, tightening, and squeeze. A couple more times here. Oh, it looks like it gets lighter outside. Maybe we'll have a little break in between the rain. And squeeze, squeeze. Good. So, and then holding your ball in between your hands, in between your palms. Let's do this together. Taking the ball in towards your chest, your heart, and your elbows go out to the side a bit. Good. So we roll the ball forward. Fingertips are down, and then fingertips are up. So good mobility for your wrist and range of motion for your wrists. Shoulder blades are gently squeezed together. In and out. And then bringing your elbows in close instead of sticking them out. And this time we are squeezing the ball with our hands. And then release and squeeze, adding a bit of pressure against the ball to, again, focus on strengthening arms, forearms, shoulders, biceps even. You might feel it in different areas of your upper body. So squeezing, release, squeeze and release. A couple more times. Good. So, and then we can do a soccer kick, right? As we have the World Cup, the Soccer World Cup starting. So if you like, take the ball down and just give it a kick wherever it goes. Good. There we go.
I don't think we're gonna make it.
Now, give it that kick. So the gesture of the Soccer World Cup. All right, let's go on to a couple of stretches from here. So what we'll do is we'll scoot to the front of the chair, one hip at a time. And then I have you, I'm gonna switch sides a little bit. I have you stretch out your right leg so the heel is on the floor. And as you lean forward from your hip, supported with your hands on your left side, you stretch out the muscles of your right leg, the back of your leg. And relaxing your knee joint, keeping it soft, breathing along as you work on the flexibility. Now, what you can do is pointing your toes forward instead of pointing them up. And that brings the stretch a bit to the front of the ankle. Just changing the areas we are stretching.
Oh, yeah.
And then pointing your toes back up for a moment. We'll hold it once more in that flexed foot position. So ideally, a good stretch is about 30 seconds. And if you keep it shorter, we kind of repeat it twice. So we get a good stretch. Also now with the toes pointed forward, the stretch to the front of the ankle.
How old were you when you became a genius? You are a genius.
So toes pointing up. The end. This is meant for you. Michael asks, how old did you become? How old were you when you became a genius?
Yeah.
How about you, Michael? How old were you?
I never got to be a genius.
What makes a genius a genius? What is a genius?
Well,
Different for all of us.
you clearly are
Pointing your toes forward.
heads and toes above other place.
And pointing your toes back up. And then one more time, pointing your toes forwards, breathing in and out.
I've
Shake out your legs a little bit.
enjoyed these easy things to do with you.
Yeah, we can always keep the classes running a little differently, depending on the majority who is here. And today, as we have made some changes to float with the day as it is, we'll just do a little different class.
Most people can do. It's just got watching to do.
Yeah.
I don't know, you've got this gift that you have that gift better than anybody else has ever got that.
So this is for you. Head on the back.
Yeah.
Try to bring your hands around your shoulders. See how much space there is. Maybe your fingers a little bit closer. So wherever your hands end up, whether it's elbows, here, and let's turn to your right, looking over your right side, kind of using our curiosity. What's behind us when you turn your head? Is the sun shining? Is it raining? What are the colors on the leaves that are still on the trees remaining? Let's rotate to the other side and notice, become aware of what's around you. Whether you're looking outside, whether you're looking around in the room, whether you have seen the same things in the room, but seeing them in a different light, so to speak. Maybe there's a point of motivation, something that looks like it maybe inspires you. Let's look straight ahead and then open your arms wide and stretching your chest and your biceps. Just a good one for posture in general. I kind of like the stretch. And then lowering your arms back down. Hands to knees. Let's take a bow forward, hinge forward from your hip. Keep your eyes looking straight ahead for a moment. Kind of soft gaze with your eyes at a point in front of you. And then look down towards your feet and roll back up your spine. From your low back to your mid back, upper back, shoulders, neck, and head. Grow tall. Grow those arms to lengthen your spine. And let your arms go out to the side and down and back. And then swing your arms one forward, one back. And just think about a joyful skipping, like a joyful gesture. From the joyful skipping gesture, think about a puddle of water and you just kind of play with your toes, kind of tapping into the puddle of water, maybe splashing. And again, with the other foot playing with the puddle of water. Gesture of having fun with the puddle of water. Brings us into an ankle movement, and then again, just splashing. Good, and feet flat on the floor. And I think what we'll do for today is we'll finish our session. So we'll take our arms back into the goal post position. So goal post is here. And let your arms reach up a little bit, maybe a triangle, forming a triangle up overhead and then coming back out, and bring your elbows down towards direction rib cage. So up and back down and up and in, out to goal post and side. So, and then shake your own hands. Since we come close to Thanksgiving, think of the gesture of gratitude, being thankful in your mind's eye, or in your mind. Think of certain things that you're thankful for, and with this, we'll finish for today. So long. Bye.
Thank you.
See here.
You're a genius.
Thank you.
Thanks for working with